Welcome back to Prime Edition.
Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, YouTube and Facebook. Tom, to the corridor of justice.
That's right. Chief Justice Martha Koome is tonight urging political players as well as citizens to reinforce and build confidence in the jurisprudence of the courts in the country.
During the opening ceremony of the inaugural Supreme Court conference in Nairobi, the President of the Supreme Court reiterated the judiciary's commitment to upholding and protecting justice and the rule of law. The event, marking 12 years since the Supreme Court's establishment, was attended by President William Ruto, who reaffirmed his administration's support for the judiciary's independence. John Kahiro with the details.
Monday morning at the Supreme Court grounds in Nairobi, government officials and senior judicial members converged to celebrate a 12-year journey since the establishment of the Apex Court. Here, Chief Justice Martha Koome called on the legal fraternity to remain neutral in delivering justice to retain the public trust on the jurisprudence of courts in the country.
I therefore urge political players and other Kenyans to reinforce and build public confidence in the work of the judiciary and the Supreme Court.
She at the same time insisted on the need for increased funding for the judiciary arm of the government to improve the court's infrastructure and promote access to justice.
Over the past decade, the judiciary has received only 50% of its necessary funding, which has adversely affected its operations.
The Supreme Court, since its inception following the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, has made various landmark rulings, including the nullification of the 2017 general elections and the controversial Building Bridges initiative, which CJ Koome noted has strengthened the democratic foundations of governance in the country.
This court's landmark judgments have influenced the daily lives of Kenyans while reinforcing the core principles of our democracy.
However, judicial officials present, led by Justice Njoki Ndung'u, poked holes on the judiciary's independence, calling for mutual respect among the three arms of the government.
Challenges still, however, remain with regard to the principle of separation of powers, which guarantees judicial independence, particularly with regard to funding the judiciary as an equal arm of government, the attacks on judicial officers, and refusal to obey court orders.
On his part, President William Ruto, who held the Apex Court as a beacon of integrity, invited the judiciary to urgently interpret the existing thin line between the public interest and that of the nation.
You sacrifice your political capital to do the right thing. But then the court on the other side decides to be popular and undermine the agenda that you have.
He at the same time assured that his administration would prioritize resource allocation to strengthen judicial infrastructure. The three-day conference is set to offer a platform to introspect and reflect on the court's jurisprudence in the 12 years journey, even as the judicial leadership commits to continue serving as a beacon of constitutionalism and the rule of law. John Kahiro, Prime Edition from the Supreme Court in Nairobi.